Hey, welcome or welcome back to Babeinlibrary. It's your girl Lisa, and today we are doing my Twisted series binge. This series is by Huang. Everyone on BookTube or Instagram probably has read this by now, but I am just diving in and I'm going to binge read this whole series. I have 3 out of the 4 books, and so I've got Twisted Love, Twisted Hate, and Twisted Lies. The only one I am missing is the second one out of the series, which I'm going to put up on the screen here, which is Twisted Games. I have them in the original mail covers. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and jump into a little bit of each one before I really do my first check-in. So the first in the series is Twisted Love. This is Ava and Alex's book. The second in the series is, again, Twisted Games, and that is Bridget and Race's book. The third would be Twisted Hate, which is Josh and Jules. And lastly, we've got Twisted Lies, which is Christian and Stella's book. As you can see, with time, they get larger and larger. So it's going to take me a little bit more time, and I'm probably going to have quite a bit of updates for each. And the first book, Twisted Love, this is a best friends little sisters trope. Twisted Games is a bodyguard romance. Twisted Hate is enemies to lovers, and Twisted Lies is fake dating. So within this series, there is a little bit of something for everyone. No matter what your trope is, there's probably going to be a book to satisfy you. Currently, I am reading Twisted Love. I'm about 33% of the way in, and I will tell you now, this is living up to the hype for me. One of the things is that everyone kind of mentions about this book is how hilarious this series is. Again, right now I can only speak for Twisted Love, but I am laughing out loud, like maniacally. I was at the nail shop today, and I'm pretty sure people were probably looking at me crazy because being in Ava's head is by far one of the funniest POVs I've had in a while. This is dual POV, so we do get to live inside of Alex's head too, and it is dark and it is broody, and it's everything that I could hope for. He is a broody billionaire. This is Grump Sunshine, heavy emphasis on the Grump and emphasis on the pet name Sunshine. You do get to see that he calls her that. One of the things I will say is that in addition to it being hilarious, it does have some serious content in there. You get to know that they're both struggling with night terrors, and it's going to be interesting to see how they cope through that, and if they're going to be able to be the bomb and solve and kind of coax that person into having a safe and comfortable relationship and being able to deal with their past traumas. Both of them, I believe, are stemming from something that happened with their mothers. And so I'm interested to see how their similarities bring them together, or if it's something that, again, this is a romance, so I'm assuming that this has a HEA, but if this becomes an issue within their relationship because it's too much baggage, you never really know with people and dealing with, what they're coming into the relationship with. Sometimes it's a little bit too heavy. So I'm really interested to see how that dynamic works with them. Alex, again, is very possessive, and he is giving me touch her and I'll kill you vibes. So I love that from him. The things that she also mentioned is that, her body image in comparison to her best friend Jules, right? So you really do get to see the mindset of Ava and really get to see not only is she funny, but she is a little bit frantic. Like her thoughts and the way that, her brain works extremely fast, and the way in which it comes out of her mouth is entertaining to me. And it's very interesting to be in that point of view because my brain personally doesn't work as fast as hers. So it's giving me the perspective of someone else. So I just finished Twisted Love, and it's at least a 4.75. Like, it's not quite a 5. Simply because that last groveling in part kind of drug out, and I didn't need that, but I understood why, right? I understood why Ava couldn't just get over it. I truly appreciate Anna not allowing Josh to get over it because I think that his betrayal runs deep. So hopefully by the time I get to Twisted Hate that, they've repaired their relationship. But kind of going back, a couple of things I want to say is I actually love the suspense part of this. While I'm a minor detective myself, I pretty much knew literally every twist and turn, like I was masterminding it out. But Anna Huang did a great job of like keeping the suspense and the hype there, also keeping the romance and the intrigue. Like these two, that office scene, baby, the whole weekend, book me a hotel with Alex and I'll never be the same. Let's talk about this cover real quick too, because I think that Ava, being the photographer she is, like in my mind, this is her portrait. Like when she did that photo shoot with Alex, this is the portrait that's hanging up in the gallery, and kudos to her because this is a masterpiece. He looks fantastic. Like he looks like my dreams and nightmares. I really loved how Alex, you know, and Ava, they talked about the writing in here. They talk about like the lightness and the darkness and the balancing of the two. I really appreciate that. I'm very excited to jump into Twisted Games. If this is any indication of how the rest of the series is going to go, I'm a goner. Like, I know Reese and Bridget's book is going to be everything that a bodyguard romance forbidden should be, and I'm excited to jump in, so hopefully I'll be able to start that tomorrow. I hear that there is a particular throne scene that I need to watch out for, so eyes on the lookout. I'll text y'all next time. This is the face of someone that is utterly bored in reading Twisted Games. Like, I'm 32% of the way in and I am bored out of my mind. Like, when I signed up for a bodyguard romance, I signed up for angst and broodiness, yes, but I did not sign up for dryness. It's not giving what the girl said it was supposed to give, and I'm upset about it. I have to push through because I feel like if I miss this book, I'm going to mess up the series, but I really don't want to be here. Okay, so I finally finished Twisted Games. I don't know why I'm saying finally because it only took me 2 days to read this book. Honestly, I'm just suffering and barreling through it so that I could jump into Twisted Hate because this is really what the prize is. But I feel like I had to read Twisted Games. It was a forced read because truly the entire time I was bored. I will say the only time that I like perked up and I got excited was when Alex Volkov entered the picture, which just lets me know how down bad I am for the man. Like, it is laughable at this point for someone to tell me that they appreciated or they liked Twisted Games better than Twisted Love, because the internet was a bold-faced lie. Like, they lied so tough that I actually bought into it. And I was like, yeah, I'm coming in with the hype. It's age gap. It's forbidden. It is a royalty romance with a bodyguard. Like, sign me up. I'm ready. I was ready to be done with the book. Again, glad that this book is for someone. It just wasn't for me. This is giving, I can't trust the internet when it comes to sequels, simply because this is the exact same way I felt about Terms and Condition. I know you all are tired of me talking about it, and that's not what this is about. But I'm just coming to believe that the internet lies when it comes to book 2 in the series, because it's never, at least in the contemporary romance, it's never as good as book 1. Book 1 is what signs me up. Book 2 is what I'm like, ooh. Book 3 is where I'm like, okay, cool. Because honestly, like I said, Jules and Josh have to be gold standard. It has to be. If it's not, I'm pretty much done. Yeah, I've got Twisted Lies, but that can go back on the shelf because I was done wrong with Twisted Game. Now, I'm going to tell you a few things. Anna Huang, with this series, I can tell a number of things that are kind of typical. One is I can see that Alex Volkov, again, which is, you know, he is the mold. I see that she tried to duplicate that with Reese, and I don't need that. That's why I'm hoping that Josh is different, because I felt like I got my broody, my I'd kill for you, you know what I'm saying, burn down the world for my girl. I got that in Alex. I did not need that from Reese, and Reese didn't do it well enough for me. I think I'm suffering because the first bodyguard romance that I read was Heartless Hero, and that was supreme, and I'm expecting the same things from everyone, and I don't think that this gave it to me. They are simplistic in terms of the suspense is always, I predict them well before they're even happening. Like, every twist and turn that it came to Reese's backstory, I already knew. And to some degree, that is satisfying because that's what I'm looking for, right? Like, that's, with this book, the payoff is what I'm hoping. I'm like, okay, let me just
get some satisfaction from being right. But even still, that didn't do it for me. Like, I knew that I could never be a princess just from the way that Bridget handled the press conference. I was like, no, baby, I'm not even going to give you all the satisfaction. I'm laying the cards on the table and I'm putting it out there in the public, and somebody else gonna have to deal with the backlash. But again, that's probably why I'm not a princess. The pacing in this, I seen someone comment that the pacing in this was much better. I beg to differ, because this book supposedly covered the span of 3 years. You've got the 2 years that Bridget was in college, which was a blink of an eye. Granted, I appreciate that Bridget's book got to stand on her own. I think if we would have had too much interaction with her best friends, it wouldn't have allowed for the storyline to play as it did. So I was appreciative that she got her own storyline, but honestly, I was more concerned about the characters in the other books, right? So we talked about Alex Volkov, standard. But the first comment I wrote in my notes is that Reese had made a comment about Jules and something she did in Ohio. My ears was perking up and saying, huh, what she do? When am I going to find out about that? I'm interested in that. Next situation was when he said something about doing a favor for Christian and reason why he was so gone for so long. Huh? What about Christian? Let me know about him. I am so interested in everyone else's storyline but these two. This let me know if I'm not feeling the vibe of the characters and their relationship. I don't even care about the intimate scenes. Like, none of it intrigued me. I was even bored during the spicy scenes. That just lets you know how uninterested I am. There's only one scene where I was like, okay, Anna, I see you. And that was the wedding reception scene. Like, that scene right there, I was like, he said, crawl. He did what? Like, even the throne scene that someone else was hyping up, I was like, you gotta be kidding me. You led me to believe this was what I was waiting for? I'm sorry. I know this just seems like a rant of me being disappointed, but some of the, and even like going back to the suspense, like, you want me to give this one particular character who we've disliked this entire time. You want me to give him the benefit of the doubt and believe that he was doing this because he wanted a relationship and he wanted the best for you, and he... Come here. Come a little closer. Don't play with me. I'm not to be played with. That's a lie. Yeah, needless to say, I wasn't happy. So, I'm going to stop my rant. I'm going to move on to Twisted Hate, and hopefully I can come back with better reactions. Talk to y'all soon.
Y'all, I'm speechless. Here I was thinking that maybe Anna was a one-hit wonder. Like, Twisted Love was probably going to be supremacy, and I wasn't going to be able to get past that because Twisted Games wasn't my favorite. Baby, Josh and Jules had something else to say. Like, they said, reserve your 5-star from me. I'm coming through hot. I am eating this up like Willy Wonka Chocolate Factory kid. I'm trying to just get to the prize. Like, I'm eating everything in sight. They give it to me, I'm smashing it. Because this right here, for y'all it's been seconds. For me, it's been less than 8 hours and I'm 50% through. And I went to work today. And I had a 3-hour meeting. This is it. I'm going to tell you first and foremost, like, Josh here, you look at him, you're like, okay, maybe he can put it down just a little something. He been putting in work. He got sweat on his chest. He dripping. Like, he is putting in work in this book. In addition to him, like, putting in work, Jules is that bitch. I'm going to just go ahead and say it now. Ain't nobody touching Jules. And we knew that from book 1. We knew that she was going to be that girl. The energy she gave off really let me know, you know how I feel about boss babes. And Jules is that. But when I tell you she give as good as she gets, the way in which she did that bet This book has literally, it's made for me. Everything that it said, you want truth or dare and you want to bet, I got you. You want fake dating? I got you. I'm not even a fan of the whole like forced proximity, one bed trope, but I got it. Workplace romance, whoop. And I'm going to call that this is a he falls first. Y'all, I'm utterly wrecked. And I'm getting little glimpses of Christian and Stella's story, which I'm already invested. Like, I've got to figure a way to get my hands on the audiobook because I've read the first 3 via audio and physical via my Hoopla, but the Hoopla doesn't have Twisted Lies on there, so it looks like I'm going back to Audible and I'm purchasing it. But this the one. This has period rep, guys. Massaging, caring, like it is equally soft and hard at the same time, which really is a good balance of their relation and their dynamic. They love to give each other shit, but they're the only ones that can do that. Like Josh, obviously, I'm pretty sure all of Anna's characters are like broody and possessive, but Josh does it in a different way. And again, this is what I was talking about. Like Anna, you thought that she was going to continue to have the same mold, but everything about Josh is different from Alex and different from Reese. And I just appreciate this book so much. 5 stars. 5 fantastic freaking stars. This, the best. I thought that I was going to hate the third act conflict, and I really was like, oh, I don't need this. But I needed it. I needed it. I needed to be able to resonate with Jules's pride. I needed the savagery we got from Josh. I needed a realization that, hey, we both need to grow up. We love each other. Let's not let this come between us. Like, I needed it all. I teared up a little bit by the bromance that was in here. Y'all know how I feel about Alex. Y'all know now how I feel about Josh. Like, I loved everything about this story. One of the things that I meant to mention earlier, I feel like this has dubious consent, and that's how it started. It was a dubious consent situation. Tell me if you all felt the same way. Like that's a sleeper I didn't see coming. This is the darkest to me. Each one of them have very dark content, but the themes that are in here, and even the sexual encounters that they have, like Josh is a creative boy, let me tell you. Like, he loves hand necklaces, which isn't necessarily creative, but there's a scene with scarves. I'm replaying that in my mind on a constant loop. Can't wait to get to Christian. The fact that he has so much money that he is willing to make a wager or a deal for $2 million. And Jules was like, sure, I'll do it. You don't even know what the favor is, sis. You don't have $2 million in the bank. You ain't never going to have $2 million in the bank. I just don't see it happening. Like, you're going to be an attorney. And granted, I don't know how much attorneys make. But starting off, I can't write a check and I can't cash for $2 million. Like, but I understand desperate times. The bromance, woo! If there's a relationship that I love more than Jules and Josh in this story, it's Alex and Josh. Like, I teared up a little bit. Like, I was like, oh, I'm driving home and I'm like, listening. I'm like, hold it together. Hold it together. You're in traffic. Don't get caught out here tripping. We got to meet Dante in this story. And now knowing that King of Wrath is out, I might just have to finish this series and jump into that. I mean, my TBR isn't a mile long, but Anna has me intrigued and I just gotta know. One of the things that I'm finding out is a common trope throughout the books, right? Everybody has parental issues. These relationships work so well because it is a common thread. They just handle things differently. And I love that. All of these couples, even Reese and Bridget, right? Like, I can see why they work. We're going to see how Twisted Lies does and if it can dethrone Twisted. Hey y'all, just checking in. I am 40% of the way into Twisted Lies and I I've got very minimum tabs, and that's because right now it's giving nothing. Somehow still feel like it's going to be better than Twisted Games, but again, I am biased, or hater, whatever you want to call it. This one is a dramatic difference than Twisted Hate. And I mean, they are polar opposites. And I think that's what's giving me a little bit of pause, is because Twisted Hate is fast and furious, and Twisted Lies is a slow burn. This is a fake dating, slow burn. I'm assuming it's going to be growing towards a friends to lover type of deal. You've got Christian, who is an obsessive hero. Like, now, all the other men are kind of possessive. No. Christian takes it up a notch. And he said, while I am possessive, I am also obsessed. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if he was Stella's stalker. The lies part, it says he'll do anything to have her, including lie. My dramatic brain is like, he did all of this. He's been plotting from 2 years since he first saw Stella at Bridget's wedding and was like, she's going to be mine. I'm going to force her hand, and I'm going to scare her into being in a relationship with me. It would not surprise me if that was the gotcha. Another thing that's a stark difference between this book and Twisted Hate, who is in the #1 spot right now, is the fact that the heroines are so different. You've got Jules, who is like feisty, fiery. She's dishing it out. Whereas Stella is written to be like a meek, mousy type of character. She has that inner strength that she really exudes, and I think she is supposed to be the calming nature to Christian. I'm struggling with that because, again, you all know how much I love Jules. I want to love Stella, but the way that she is characterized, it's not my type of heroine. However, I will say one of the things that I do love is that Christian knew he had to get a woman that made him better. When she helped him seal the deal with a big account that he's trying to close, that's when I knew she's his match. So I'm hopeful that the pace of this book will pick up. I will be coming back to you and hopefully be telling you that I love it. But right now it's kind of running in the 3rd spot. All right, so I am here to close out this vlog. I have finally finished Twisted Lies. Before I get into my thoughts on that and ranking the series, I do want to show you all my Twisted inspired eyeshadow look. So you've got Josh and Jules up top. You've got Christian and Stella in the inner corners. And then you've got Ava and Alex at the bottom waterline. So finished Twisted Lies. At first, I thought I wasn't going to really get into it because this is a slow burn romance, so it took quite a time. But when that 50% mark hit, baby, it hit. That beach water scene, yep, that was the one for me. That's where it said, oh, Lisa, sit down, buckle up. Christian is about to take you on the ride of your life. I've never read a main character where I knew their love language and it was so succinct. Christian's top love language is gifts. Like, the way in which he showers Stella with gifts by far is the truest form of knowing what your love language is. Christian, just in general, like, get you a man that will torture and kill someone right before he goes grocery shopping for taco night. Like, get you a man that can do both. He is the epitome of touch her and I'll kill you. Like, along with Alex, Christian, they're neck and neck, baby. I found some of the storylines so intriguing and compelling. Like, the way in which Anna was able to hold out the importance of Magda, I never would have saw it coming. And I love that she was able to this was the only book that gave me a true shock. Every other book in the series, I knew every plot twist. This one, I was like, I didn't see the betrayal. I didn't see who the stalker was. I didn't see what the parents' relationship was. Like, I didn't see a lot of things coming in this book, and I am proud to say that Anna finally got me. Could have lived without the epilogues, but I understand she wanted to wrap the series up nicely. This is going to lead me to read the King of Wrath and King of Pride series that she's just released, knowing how intrigued I am by Dante and Vivian. But Again, really good end to a series. Love that we were able to get so many of the other couples and building of the friendship. Like this quad, perfection. So now I guess the question that's left is, what are my rankings? I don't think that it should come as any surprise that Twisted Games is my least favorite in the series. It is ranked number 4. Twisted Lies would be number 3. Number 1 and number 2, depending on my day, could switch up. But honestly, number 2 is going to be my bae, Alex, for Twisted Love. And then ultimately, Bad Bitch Alert with Jules, I'm going to go with Twisted Hate as my number 1 spot. So I absolutely had a great time reading this series. If you have not picked it up, again, look at these beautiful tabs. Look at these gorgeous, stunning men. You really can't go wrong. Anna Huang put her whole foot into this series. If you like romantic suspense, if you like a broody hero that's possessive, obsessed, touch her and I'll kill you vibes, if you like dark romance, pick this series up. Until next time, bye.